Still working on matrices. Our essential question is, can you solve systems of equations using inverses of matrices? And we've already done this on our calculator. We are not going to do it by hand, which is super nice, but we are going to learn how to do inverse. So we know the button on the calculator looks like this, and this is that actual button that we use for matrices, but the inverse is going to be, let me go ahead and write this down first. Just a reminder that this is A, B, C, D for our matrix. And the inverse is going to be D over AD minus BC. That's just the determinant that we just did. Negative B over AD minus BC. Negative C over AD minus BC, again just the determinant, and A over AD minus BC. Now, another way that we could write this is we could take 1 over the determinant, and notice we are multiplying, and I'm just kind of looking at this right here. We're just multiplying it. Notice we are switching the D and the A, and we are switching the signs of the B and the C. So it shouldn't be that hard. I personally like this bottom one a little better, but let's go ahead and look at if I have example 1. Example 1 says negative 9, 5, 6, and negative 3. So the first thing we want to do is find the determinant. So remember, I'm taking negative 9 times negative 3, which is 27, and I am subtracting 5 times 6, which is 30. So it looks like the determinant is negative 3. So I'm going to take 1 over negative 3, and now I'm going to multiply it, but remember I have to switch the negative 3 and the negative 9. And then I'm only switching the signs of the 5 and the 6. So when I distribute this through, negative 1/3 times negative 3 is 1. Negative 1/3 times 5/3 is 5/3. Weird number, it's okay, we are in Algebra 2. Negative 1/3 times negative 6 is a positive 2. And negative 1/3 of negative 9 is a positive 3. So that is the inverse. And again, there is a button on your calculator to find the inverse. The last thing that we are talking about, we've already talked about. So if I was given an example, so if I was given x minus 3y equals 1 and x plus 3y equals negative 11, remember that we could make a matrix, and we're just going to make the first matrix right here. So that's 1, negative 3, 1, and 3. And I can take that to the negative first and multiply it by the next matrix, which is right here, which is just going to be 1 and negative 11, and I should get the answer. So let's go ahead and try that on our calculator. Hopefully you remember how to calculate this from earlier in the year. All right, so remember we're putting it in our calculator as a to the negative first times b. And I know that this can multiply now because this is a 2 by 2, and we are multiplying it, well, we're really multiplying by the inverse of 2 by 1, and so we do get a 2 by 1 as the answer. And the answer is negative 5, negative 2.